Hey everybody, it's Jacob here again. Today is January 20th, 2019, and today I'm going to be talking about the 4 types of body tissues there are. All the information I'm going to be covering is found in our Anatomy and Physiology book right here, as also cited on a piece of paper. Give you a moment to stare at that. And I'm also going to be using my prop skeleton friend here to show you what the tissues may lie at. So there are 4 types of tissues. We have epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous. I have my little cheat sheet here. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is epithelial tissue. So the purpose of epithelial tissue is that it serves primarily as a covering or a lining of body parts, protecting the body, also functions in absorption, transportation, and secretion. So you're going to find epithelial tissue around the nose, the mouth, and the anus. Okay, so the point of epithelial tissue is to protect the body from foreign bodies from getting in and out, or mainly in. It serves as a good barrier for that. The structure of it is, if it's a single epithelial tissue, it's composed of a single layer of cells. 2 or more layers of cells equals a stratified epithelial tissue. And then you also have pseudostratified epithelial tissue, which is a single layer of cells varying in height. Epithelial cells are typically characterized by the polarized distribution of organelles and membranes bound proteins between their basal and apical surface. So there's a few variants of epithelial tissues, but they all serve one primary surface, and that's to protect the body from anything nasty really getting in. So the next one I'm going to talk about is connective tissue. Connective tissue serves as a purpose to hold in place, connect, and integrate the body's organs and systems. So the locations for connective tissue are tissue, cartilage, bones, and joints. So we have a joint here for your elbow, bones, and then just tissues and cartilage. Cartilage is like in between your elbow or in between your knee, like this, the tissue that that the ball and socket kind of pivots on, so it's not bone to bone. It has like something to glide against. There are 3 classifications for connective tissue. You have loose connective tissue, supportive connective tissue, and fluid connective tissue. So loose connective tissue is made up of adipose and reticular cells. Supportive connective tissue is made up of cartilage, hyaline, fibrocartilage, and elastic cells. And then fluid connective tissue is made of blood and lymph. And that's also their purposes. So fluid connective tissue is used to transport blood and stuff like that. The structure, more of the structure is cells, fibers, and ground substance. And then ground substance and fibers together the ground substance and fibers create a matrix. That's what the fibers and the cells kind of lay in there. It's the fluid stuff. So the next tissue I'm going to be talking about is muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is capable of contracting and generating tension in response to stimulation. So there are 3 types of muscle tissue: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal muscle tissue is voluntary, produces heat and protects organs. So this is all voluntary what I'm doing. I'm choosing to do this. What is involuntary is my heartbeat and my breathing in most cases. I can't control my heartbeat, and I can control my breathing for the most part, but like when I'm sleeping, for example, it's pretty much involuntary. You're going to find skeletal muscle tissues in bones, mouth, and the anus. Cardiac muscle tissue, that its main function is to pump blood, and you're going to find cardiac muscle tissue in the heart. Smooth muscle tissue is involuntary. It moves food. It's in control of the involuntary responses of your body, and it regulates the flow of blood in arteries by contraction. And you're going to find this in the walls of major organs and passageways. The structure of skeletal muscles is arranged in bundles surrounded by connective tissue. The structure for cardiac muscle is a single cell and a single cell nucleus. The structure for a smooth muscle is spindle-shaped cells with a single nucleus with no visible striations. And lastly, we're going to cover the nervous muscles. So the nervous muscles are pretty much brain, spinal cord, peripheral nervous systems. Okay, so nervous tissues are capable of sending and receiving impulses through chemical signals. Location again, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, brain, and spine. The structure of these cells, or muscle tissues, are two classes of cells called neurons and neuroglias. Neurons propagate information via electrochemical impulses, and neuroglias modulate the neuron's information. They pretty much process what the neurons are sending off. And neurons are also made of a cell body. Neurons contain a nucleus and a mitochondria. So I hope you learned a little bit of the four muscle tissues today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.